Dead space is considered any space behind a subject that does not have any other elements to distract the viewer from the subject. Use it to highlight a single subject with nothing more than a wide open area. This is achieved best with backgrounds that are very far away, empty, and/or have one general tone of color. Is just as important as using it. Depth is the feeling of distance and separation from your subject. Many of the best photographers in the world use one simple trick to add depth to their photos. And by simple, I mean very simple. They show us the ground. Take this photo of a city skyline, for example. You can add a lot more depth to this photo by simply taking the picture vertically and exposing the ground. The importance isn't in the camera rotation as much as it is in showing how far away you are from your subject being the city. The easiest way to do this is by putting the ground in your shot. Here's another example of a great shot. But here it is with far more depth because we've exposed the street below. Can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on your direction. This seems kind of obvious, but most people don't realize it. Shooting in the same direction that the light is traveling can brighten up your entire subject and its surroundings. So if your scene is too dark, you should try changing your shooting direction to match the direction of the light source. On the contrary, shooting into the light can create a really nice silhouette if positioned properly and exposed properly. Exposure is the amount of light per unit area. This is just a fancy way of saying how bright or dark a picture is when you take it. The best time to shoot in almost any setting is at golden hour, which is the hour before sunrise or sunset. This is because the light is softer and coming from one single direction, closer to the horizon. Here's some examples. This was shot looking into the light, which creates a really nice silhouette. A silhouette is when your subject is completely dark against a very bright background. This shot was taking more looking into the same direction that the light is casting. The subject is well lit and so is the background. Here's a diagram of the difference between the two different shooting directions relative to the light source. Neither option is wrong. It just depends on what style that you want to achieve. Next, we're going to talk about filling the frame. This is a style choice that is done by positioning more objects in the foreground of the image to create a much fuller shot and draw your eye closer to the subject. The foreground is the front of the image. Foreground versus background. Pretty standard. You can use almost anything to fill the frame. Some simple examples are branches, trees, light posts, people, and walls. It will all depend on where you're shooting and what is in your nearby surroundings. Remember, photography is resourcefulness. Here's an example of a relatively empty photo. If you've been taking nothing but dead space photos for a while and want something new, try filling the frame with different surrounding objects to make it more interesting. You might need a friend to help you with this one in particular. Whatever you choose to fill a shot with can also help you to tell a story. More on this next.